If you want to know if you're talking to somebody with low intelligence, just use an analogy. Okay, just use an analogy. That's all you have to do. Because sometimes I find that when people have low intelligence, we often mistake that for them like just trying to argue or whatever the case may be. But no, in their head, they legitimately aren't following. And not only are they not following, they have a completely different interpretation of what y'all are actually talking about. So you have to use an analogy. And if they can't follow the analogy, that intelligence level is gone. So two things that they're gonna do.
First, she, I think she needs to use the wrong word. It's not intelligence, perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's not intelligence. I don't. At least not for me. I don't think it's I think it's perspective. Two people from different cultures trying to talk to people. To one other person might be like, "Oh, you're not intelligent." The other person is gonna be like, "No, you're not intelligent," because intelligence is based on where you are. If that's what she, because cultural differences can cause what she's mentioning. It's not intelligence. Life differences can cause what she's talking about. It's not intelligence. Experience. You know what I'm saying? It's not intelligence. Also I get what she's saying. There's some people that just can't comprehend. But I wouldn't say it's because of intelligence. If they can't comprehend whether they're slow or not, it's just that's their life structure. That's how they are. That's how they came in. You know what I'm saying? And that's experiences that they've ran before you met them. They made it through life up until the time you met them on that level of intelligence. If they're alive, they can't be that stupid. I'm just being real. If they're alive and you meeting them independently, you know what I'm saying? According to nature, those that are alive, natural selection, those that are alive are the ones that deserve to be alive. That's kind of what nature says. You know what I'm saying? So they can't be that stupid. If nature feels like they should pass their genes on to the next, even if it's the very second you're meeting them, they might die the next second. Who knows? But the point is, when you meet them, nature still feels they are deserving of, like, this intelligence is deserving to be passed on in this very second. So you can't say intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Then again, maybe it could be intelligence. I could be wrong. I don't know.
It could be and or type of ordeal. The first one, when you use the analogy, their brain will be incapable of understanding how those two things are even comparable at all. Okay? They won't understand it, all right? And that's often when you get them making statements like, "Are you really trying to compare apples to oranges?" Yes. Yes, correct. Or the second thing that they can do is where they use part of the analogy and try to apply it to the original thing that you are talking about, okay? Like, what? That doesn't fit in the same thing that we're talking about. And why are they doing this? Because their brains cannot actually process gray areas of information. They can only see things as black or white.
I love the fact she just said what she just said. Now that is, for what she just said confirms what I was saying. It's perspective, not intelligence. What she's saying happens to me a fucking lot. That's why I know what my whole brand is built on empathy. I promise you, you have not met a someone as empathetic as me. Maybe not. I won't say that. I will be amongst one of the top people in your life that you say understand, like, this very understanding of a person. And most people in this world that I've met, most, even my people currently I see around me, they can't understand. Like, they are not as understanding as me. Everybody understanding doesn't mean that you agree with something, or that this is what you do. You understand where someone is coming from. Oh, I don't agree with that. I'm not gonna do that. But I understand because your life experiences made you think this way. That some people can't think, and it's all about empathy. It really is about being open minded. A lot of people in this world are so close minded that the way they've growing up is the only way they want to be. It's not even life can even be trying to show them something new, friends around, but they still just want to be that because that's just what they want to be. They're comfortable that way or whatever it is. Because life, I keep saying, bro, every single pair of eyes is a different perspective. The problem is that society is as confused people where everybody that's the main thing. The reason why this thing she's saying happens is because, to be realistic, is because, as I always say on this channel, people are sheep. They're easily swayed. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to think for themselves. Like, when you came into this life, you came on your own, and when you die, you're gonna die on your own. But yet you let other people dictate how you run your own life, which ruins your whole life. And that's when I say that's 90 something percent of. That's why everybody that creates new inventions, I always say this thing, when they're creating those inventions, people are laughing at them. Those people that are laughing at them, they ain't stupid, but they just so comfortable. They sheep. They might be good at doing what is already going on, but they're not good enough. They're not, innovative enough to create a new thing. But when that person creates that thing, they might still be smart enough to get good at that thing. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like they're dumb, but they're just so comfortable being sheep. They just want someone to lead them. They don't have the courage, to do something different and go through that hardship of going, and that's just all these empathy. The ability to open your mind and think from multiple perspectives. If you really think the way that your country, your family, your friends, whatever it is, that's the only way, like that's the right way. I keep saying this. There's never one, two, three. There's never just one way to anything. There are always multiple ways you can get to something. The only difference between them will be time. How long it will take these different, methods, different routes to get to that destination. But there's never just one way. But people are so, they think, oh, this is the good way. This is the best way. This is the only way. This is because everybody's been doing it that way. And that's how you know a sheep. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to do something different, innovate, create something, and that person comes and tells you, oh, go get a job. Go. Why are you trying to do that? Oh, you're just trying to be different, huh? You just like to be different. That's how you know a sheep. That's how you know someone that just likes to just do as everybody does. They're not courageous enough to think outside the box. And those individuals, you don't argue with them. I've always told you, if my first sentence doesn't convince you, I'm not saying anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a million sentences later, it's not gonna convince you. It's not gonna work. So you don't argue, you don't debate with people like you just okay. Just like I do on this channel. I'm not arguing or debating with anybody. I share my opinions and I leave it as well. If it runs with you, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you check the comments, sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't, because I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I'm sharing my message. If it resonates with you, tap in. If it doesn't, you feel me? At the end of the day, it's not going to change, break me, make me, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this right now with $0, 0 cents coming to my pocket. So nobody's affecting, influencing, or blessing my life enough for me to even give a fuck. Even if they did, I will still not give a fuck because they're not me. You feel me? But yeah, let's keep going.
And analogies are not necessarily black or white.
But yeah, no, life is hella gray, bruh. But life is perspective. You know what I'm saying? And that's just it. As I said, what she said, it's not intelligence. It's just, I think it's perspective, which is also based on experiences. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. Some people might be processing power, brain processing power, stuff like that, cool. But for the most part, it's just experiences and the willingness to open your mind to relate to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Most people are just incapable. Well, not incapable. Most people just don't want to do it. But I've built a whole brand. My whole brand is built on empathy. You know what I'm saying? From my music to the film to the podcast and this blogs, everything is built on empathy. So, it's just that's the almighty thing right there, man.